Post to check up on the page, just in light of the recent week's actions and movements in the Black Lives Matter movement, and all the social media posts and interaction going on, which has been great to see. There's obviously a lot more educational things being put up there and stories and people trying to help others in that aspect, which is incredible. But this is just a little way of me saying what I think we could do to improve that going forward. Not me imposing my opinions, but kind of just educating myself at the same time as helping others. And what we can do on this page specifically to kind of help towards that in the next few weeks, and ideas I've got going forward. So of course, a little background on me. I come from a large multicultural family. I'm of mixed race, a large Islamic family. I've got a black father who's from Mozambique. His dad is white, a white Portuguese man. My mum is born in Scotland. She grew up in Portugal, and she's of Asian heritage. My gran from Malawi in Africa, and my granddad is from India. So we're quite culturally diverse, a lot of nationalities and mixes, but it's amazing, all accepting. I've obviously had a privileged upbringing in any groups, societies, sports teams, friends groups, wherever you name it. I've always been accepted, and it's been a privilege in that sense. So I've never experienced harsh reality in that sense of racial inequality. I have had a bit of my fair share at times, whether that be, there's casual racism is where stuff starts, and actual racism on the streets at times, but nothing to the extent of others. So yeah, again, very privileged in that aspect for sure. I guess this is just about what we can do. I think the best thing we can do, firstly, is to educate ourselves. To be honest, with the black oppression, current situations in America, in UK, you name it, I've been extremely ignorant up to now. And that's no fault of anyone else but myself. But I've taken this opportunity to kind of start to educate myself. I guess I'm quite lucky in the fact that I have been aware since a young age. I'm obviously in groups and stuff I've been in, I may have been a bit more of the odd one out and that such, but like I said, I've been accepted very well. So I have been aware, of course, since a young age. I guess that's the important part. So I guess educating ourselves is the first part, is what I think we should do. So I've done that today, and I'll kind of share a little small story in that sense. Secondly is educating those and creating awareness around our groups and circles, so whether that be family and friends. For sure, it doesn't mean challenging or imposing opinions on others, but having discussions. Discussions is where change happens, and changing mindsets, and awareness is created, I guess. And lastly is kind of bringing that into our own families. So all of us on social media, some people who want to change the world in a second, people who've been trying for years. But I guess the best thing we can do is change the world we live in. So your bubble, your family, your kids, whoever that may be, that you can have a really positive impact on in creating awareness. That's the best foot forward, is what I say, and what I've seen. So that's my small part. So like I said, I've looked at things that we can improve, and what we can do in this page, and to highlight. So I've seen a lot of justice for Floyd WODs, the George Floyd workouts and stuff. Of course, as a fitness page, I wanted to create a workout around something in that aspect, but I wanted to go down a different route. So what I've gone back in Black history, and I've picked out someone that kind of resonated with me, and a story that really impacted on kind of my education and my thought process. And I've created a WOD around that, and certain dates and times and stuff that I'd love people to get involved in. Take it away, do it in your own time. Do it with me. I'm thinking maybe an Instagram live or a Zoom class on a day that suits most people, if anyone wants to get involved. If no one's joined, that's fine, I'll do it by myself, that's okay. But it's just about getting it out there and putting yourself out there. I guess that's the part of the reason of this Instagram page in the first place. So yes, I've chosen a lady. She was originally called Araminta Ross, or Minty Ross was her nickname, most commonly known as Harriet Tubman recently. She was born into slavery. She made her first escape. She then joined the Philadelphia Anti-Slavery Society, the workings of the Underground Railroad, which became one of the most famous conductors, which is what she's most known for, if you've heard of her. She worked to conduct trains, and she ended up freeing over 70 slaves in that period of time, really risking her life, and it's a remarkable story, one I recommend you look back on. There's a film out on it that I think is a couple, most recently called The Harriet, so please, if you can, I'm going to watch it as well, please do. She then, moving on, she saved her family, her brothers, her sister, her parents, before kind of the American Civil War era, in that period of time. She became a nurse and a spy behind Confederate lines, and then she again worked with other people to save even more slaves. I think it was hundreds at that point. So yeah, an incredible story, one I wish you could kind of look back on and dig a bit deeper. I've got loads of detail here, but I don't want to bore you all day. So yeah, I picked out a few numbers. So it was accounted that she freed those over around 70 slaves in 19 missions. That may be correct and maybe not. I'm sorry if it's not. So I made it a 19-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds and reps as possible. So we just worked for 19 minutes. And then I've used the date for death. So that was the 10th of March 03 and 1913. So it's going to be 10 lunges for the day, 3 burpees for the month, 19 squats for the beginning of the years, and then 13 sit-ups. So all we're going to do is work through that. It's a simple, really simple WOD workout of the day. It's not supposed to be physically challenging, too bad. There's loads of variations and scalable options I'm happy to ask and help with. To be honest, it's mainly just about participation and getting people involved of all backgrounds, cultures, anywhere, any walk of life. Share it with friends, family if they want to get involved. It's super simple, 19 minutes of the day. Just getting as many of us involved. I'll put a poll up just to see what day suits most. If no one gets involved, that's okay. If you do in your own time, happy days. But I really recommend that's what you do. Look back in the past. Pick someone that kind of, their story resonates with you. One that has impact and educates you, whether it be one every week or just one for now, one you can share with other people. Please do. So obviously it's a big initiative. And I hope you get involved. Thanks for listening. Hope this wasn't too long-winded, and I'll see you soon.